Hi everybody. Today I want to talk to you about the importance of grounding and being grounded. What is grounded? Grounded is when you are in connection with the energies and the frequency of the earth. When you are ungrounded, some of you probably experience anxiety, depression, worrying. You can't complete a task, procrastination, going from one thing to the other, and just not being clear. And that probably described the majority of the people watching this video. Now, when you're grounded and you touch the earth, something happens immediately. You immediately receive this frequency from the earth, and your body immediately starts becoming ionized. Now, when you're not grounded, EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, tend to just come right at you. It's almost like when you're driving a car, and if you didn't have the windshield to protect you from the bugs and from the wind that they go over the windshield, if the windshield wasn't there, those bugs and the wind would hit you directly. And that's what happens to you when you're in an environment where there's a lot of electronics, Wi-Fi these days and everything. So that affects your health, and it affects your mood and the way you feel. And it may sound crazy, but when you do become grounded, and I'll explain how in a minute, you feel calmer, more collected. You're not worried. You don't have that panic that so many of us get. And the depression also is lifted because it's actually an electronic transfer that's happening between you and the earth. So here's some of the ways that you can become grounded. Now, here I am in Las Vegas, Nevada today, and I'm standing with my back to this beautiful palm tree. And I also have, I don't know if you can see, but I also have my feet planted firmly on the ground barefoot. Now, that is one way of becoming grounded. Another way is just to spend some time outside. Think about, where do you live? When's the last time you touched earth? When's the last time you touched a tree? And you've heard the phrase, go hug a tree, right? Or tree huggers. Now, hugging a tree actually grounds you because the tree's roots are deep, deep, deep into Mother Earth. So you immediately become grounded. I did want to also say that long term, if you don't ground ever for a long term, then that can start creating things like arthritis or bone or aches and pains in your body, and also it starts aging you because you're not in your real element, right? And when you are grounded, like I said, you think clearer, you feel calmer, you feel safer, and so this is one way. Put your feet on the ground barefoot. Go out in the grass, put your back to a tree. Now, I actually live in Michigan, and when I left there, there was still snow on the ground and it was cold. So there's other ways that you can, other techniques rather, that you could do to become grounded. Sea salt is great. If you could go swimming in the ocean, that's great. But you could buy sea salt at the store, and you could put a quarter cup or eighth of a cup into your bath and soak. I personally do not have a bathtub in my little house that I have in Michigan, and so I rub it on my body to sea salt. That also ionizes you. Eating root vegetables also helps you stay grounded. Things like potatoes or carrots or things that were actually grown in the ground, those are very grounding. Brushing an animal, you're touching, your animal, and that kind of grounds you too. Going for a walk, even if you have your shoes on, is grounding. And then for people that live in those colder environments that can't go outside, I highly recommend you do visualization grounding. You imagine roots coming out of your feet and out of your butt and going all the way to the core of Mother Earth. And then imagine breathing up that energy from Mother Earth. And you will actually notice a difference. You can also lay flat on your back. That helps with grounding. Some people that are really anxious, and maybe you do this and you don't even notice it. Sometimes you just feel like you need to sit on the ground, or you feel like you need to sit on the grass. And that is actually your intuition letting you know. Lastly, on this video, because I teach intuition development, I also teach my students that it's a form of protection to be grounded. Again, all that energy is coming right at you, but the minute you become ionized, it's like you create this protective bubble around you, and energies, unseen energies, then cannot penetrate your energy field. They have to be further away. It's definitely a form of protection. It brings your energy down to the ground. Another example is if you've ever gone all day without eating and you start to feel like panicky, and then you eat and you're like, oh, I needed that. That is exactly what grounding feels like. You're like way up here, like, and then grounding, okay, I'm nice and calm now, okay? So that's kind of an example. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you have questions, let me know. You can find out more about me on my website at brandaline.com, or email me or comment on this video, and stay grounded. Go hug a tree, put your feet on the ground, and hang out with Mother Earth. Go be in nature. That's where you're meant to be. Bye.